beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Taylor, and I have a secret to tell you. A confession to make, if you will. I'm blind. And today, to heal my trauma, we are going to have group therapy. Now, you may be thinking, Taylor, what do you mean we're going to have group therapy? We're gonna do our makeup together, of course. So grab all your brushes, all of the things, grab a nice beverage, and let's get into the video. Today's session, I thought that I would take you guys through my makeup routine. And if you're sighted and you're watching my channel, you get to see how a blind person does their makeup. And if you're blind, well, I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, I might have some tips and tricks that might help you along the way. I know personally, I really enjoyed watching other blind content creators do their makeup videos, so I'm following suit. First, we're going to start with my eyes. Wow. If I start with my eyes and I mess up, it's way easier to correct it than if I did my face first. So I'm just starting with my Ulta eye primer. I just squeeze a little bit on my finger and I am rubbing it on my eyelid, starting from the inner corner and working my way out to the outer corner and just covering my entire lid with the eye primer. The primer is really what helps set your eye makeup so that it doesn't move throughout the day. Okay. After I do my eye primer, I am going to take my Tartelette eyeshadow palette. It's my favorite one, but I love all the Tarte palettes because they're very blind friendly. They have 3 rows, and each row from left to right is already organized into a look. So when you pick your row, if you just go straight down the aisle and add the eyeshadows, you already know that they match. So today I'm going to start with my top row of my Tarte eyeshadow palette because it's my favorite one. And it's basically just neutrals. Like the first one is kind of like a shimmery off-white. The second one is a lighter brown. And then the third one is a darker brown. And those are all the ones that I'm going to use today. So starting, I'm going to take that off-white shimmer and I'm taking my fluffy brush and I'm just going to put it on my eyelid, again starting from the outer corner and working my way in, just all over that eyelid. I like to start from the outer corner and work my way in so that if I kind of have a bit of excess eyeshadow on my brush, it'll kind of like be in that corner where I'm gonna add more colors instead of on the inner corner where you don't add very much on top of it. I'm just doing the same thing with the other eyelid. Okay, I'm done with the first color and I'm going to pick another eyeshadow brush. These eyeshadow brushes are by Morphe, and I actually don't know, like, from a professional standpoint what brush is for what, but I just pick what feels right on that part of my eye and it seems to work. Another thing that I do is after I get an eyeshadow, I kind of like tap it off on my hand so that if I have excess, I can kind of like dust some of that off because my sister-in-law Caitlin told me that I'm pretty aggressive with my eyeshadow palettes when I get the eyeshadow out. So I'm just taking the second eyeshadow, which was the lighter brown, and I'm starting on the outer corner and just brushing it on my eyebrow bone, kind of like where the crease is in your eye. And then I'm just sort of swirling it around to blend it in as I go across my eyelid on the top so that that first color we put on and the eyebrow bone color sort of blend together. Next, I'm going to take the smallest brush that I have out from my set Oh, I keep grabbing the same one, you guys. I'm a dork. I'm gonna take the third eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna take that darkest brown that we talked about, and I'm just gonna put it in the outer corner of my eye. And I'm gonna sort of blend it in towards the center a little bit. And we're mostly keeping it in the corner, but we are dragging it towards the middle just a little bit, just to add some definition in that area. And I'm just gonna do the other eye the same, just shaking off the excess and putting it on the outer corner. I like to think of it as I'm kind of making like a triangle. You don't like specifically have to make it a triangle, but to me that's kind of what it feels like I'm doing in the corner. And then I'm just gonna blend it all together, like where I feel like the colors meet. Okay, and that is all of our eyeshadow. Now we get to move on to my favorite and least favorite part of my makeup routine, which is eyeliner, primer, and mascara. It's my favorite part because I just feel like for the makeup that I can see, it looks really pretty. It makes me feel very confident, but it's also the hardest. I struggle to this day a lot with my eyeliner and mascara, and it's the thing that I kind of tend to make the most mistakes with, but I just keep practicing. I'm using my ColourPop eyeliner. It's a gel liner. I kind of always use gel liners because pencils, like, my eye just feels too sensitive for a pencil. And the liquid eyeliners, well, let's just say that they cause a disaster known as my face when I try to use them. So what I'm really doing as I put on my eyeliner is I'm starting in the inner corner, and I'm just kind of tracing my top waterline. It's kind of a slow process because I just try to be very, very kind of like gentle about it. Okay, now I'm just gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna go across the bottom. A lot of times I just do the top because I feel like it kind of opens my eyes more, because my eyes like to sort of squint and jump around a lot because I have nystagmus. But just for the sake of my makeup routine, I'm gonna do the bottom. So I'm just taking the gel liner again and tracing that bottom waterline. Oh, and I said that it's my ColourPop eyeliner, but it's in the color Swerve. As I trace the bottom waterline, I'm just going to make sure to connect those, the top and the bottom. I almost poked my eye out, you guys. I only do that a few times. Okay, thank you guys for bearing with me. I'm really glad that part is over. I always feel like I like stop breathing because I'm so stressed out about if I'm about to like just draw all over my face or something. Hold on, let me wipe my fingers off, because let me tell you guys what I always do is I forget that I just touched my eyeliner, and then I just go and start touching my face, and basically I look like a giraffe, but who doesn't love giraffes? Next, I'm such a dork, you guys. You gotta learn it now, because it's just a fact. Next, I'm going to, do you see these curtain bangs curtaining? Okay, I'm really proud of it, okay? Next, we're gonna do my eyelash primer, mascara primer. It is Maybelline Sky High Primer, and I'm just kind of going to use my cheekbone to help line up my wand to my primer. I always have to kind of like line it up a few times because I like psych myself out a little bit. I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not right. And then I just kind of go for it. So I'm just kind of putting it on just like you would mascara, like taking the brush and going under all of my lashes. I really like this primer because it's similar to a mascara in the sense that it like gives you the volume, but it also has like a tint to it. So I really like this one. Remind me to keep my eyes open, you guys, because I always forget, and then I close my eyes and get like lash prints under my mask or under my eyes. Okay, now we get to move on to one of my favorite beauty products right now. I've never really had a favorite mascara, and by the way, this isn't sponsored, of course. I'm not big enough for that, but my favorite beauty product right now, besides my lip stains, is the Tarte Maneater Mascara. I really like the brush. I feel like it's super easy to use, and it just fans my lashes out really well. And I've never really had like a favorite mascara before. It was just one of those things where I was just like, if it works, it works, you know? But now I have a favorite, and I've even tried like a few different ones since I've gotten this one, but this one is my favorite. Like, I already have another tube kind of like on deck for when this one runs out. Oops, we'll fix that in a second. I'll show you guys the trick. I know I could put my finger like on the inside of my nose, but I feel like when I do that, I get makeup cocky, and then the mascara ends up everywhere around my nose. So I'd kind of rather it just be on my nose and then deal with that instead of trying to like pinpoint any place around my eye that I might have put it. So I'm just taking my mascara brush and going under all of my lashes, trying to make sure that I don't miss any as I put my mascara on, and trying to be very cautious not to touch my nose any more than I already have. And the other thing about my mascara that's kind of funny is that I used to always do my mascara by doing this, and then I was always like, why can't I get my mascara or my eyelashes on the inside of my nose? Well, it's because I needed to switch hands, and once I did that, my life became a lot easier. Like, it really just did. So, about the mascara on my nose. A lot of people want to wipe it off and panic when it's all wet, but we're actually just going to take my spoolie that doesn't have any mascara on it, and now that it's dry, we're kind of just going to flick it off, because when the mascara dries, it will kind of just crumble away, and that is much less of a mess than when it's wet and you try to wipe it off, because when it's wet, it just wants to smear everywhere. Okay, now our eyes are done. Are they done? Yeah, they're done already. I can't believe it. Okay, now we get to move on to putting our faces on. First, I am going to use my MAC Studio primer. I'm just gonna put some on my fingers, and then I'm gonna start on my forehead and just kind of like work my way down my face, rubbing it on and making sure that I get right under my eyes, and just want to kind of like cover your whole face and go kind of under your ears and down your neck just a tiny bit, so you don't have like an abrupt line. I feel like I make such funny like faces when I'm doing my makeup. I assume everyone does, but Who knows? Okay, that's done. After that, it's time for foundation. So I am going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. And something kind of cool, like, that I didn't know about makeup is I used to use Urban Decay primer and foundation. And I always had this problem where it kind of like got really crumbly on my face. And then I was watching makeup videos and I found out that it matters what the base of your makeup is. So if you're using a water-based foundation or a water-based primer, you also want to have water-based of the other, or silicone-based. There's silicone too that you can use, but whichever one you go with, you just want to make sure that they both have the same main significant product, because that's what makes it crumble. And ever since I got both water-based, I haven't had that problem anymore. I try to be a little bit like extra with it just because I cannot see it. So the more I blend, the less problems I'm likely to have. Now, one of my favorite new things that the rest of the world has been a fan of for a while, but I literally just started using a makeup sponge like 6 months ago. So I have my makeup sponge and I'm already wet it, and I'm just kind of gonna pat and blend my makeup into my face. Just kind of smoothing everything out and blending any lines or blemishes. Just kind of going all over. I'm even moving my hair because I don't want to have any lines. This one time when I was in high school, I went to school like one does every day, and I had done my makeup like I always do. And as soon as I walked in the door, I hadn't been there even 1 minute, and one of my guy friends runs up and he's like, "Oh my God, Taylor, we need a girl." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Something's wrong." I was like, "What do you mean something's wrong?" He's like, "It's your makeup. Something's wrong with your makeup. I don't know how to help. Hold on." So then he went and found a random girl that I did not know, and bless her, she fixed my makeup for me. I was incredibly embarrassed, but also just really happy that someone told me before I went to my class, and I was happy that the girl that this guy friend picked knew what she was doing and it wasn't a problem. So that is one of my most embarrassing makeup experiences ever. Okay, I feel like we have blended and extra blended. So now we get to move on to my Maybelline powder. It's just a setting powder. I don't think it's actually necessary with my foundation, but I just like to do it for extra like coverage and just to make sure that everything is blended, and if I have any blemishes or whatnot, they're all hidden. I'm just taking the little sponge that comes in the compartment and rubbing the powder all over my face. My entire face. I'm such a doofus. It's just a fact. Okay. Now my face is done. So now we're gonna do our blush. And I have the Kylie Cosmetics, and I can't really see this, but I did want to make sure to remember to point it out. The back of the Kylie blushes have like a little square on them. I don't know what it's for. It might have information on it, but I'm pretty sure each blush has like the different color that it is so that you can see the shade. When I had more sight, that would have been super helpful for me. So if you do have vision, that might be a product that would be very helpful. So I'm just going to take my biggest fluffy brush and I'm going to swirl it around in my blush. This is a light pink, by the way. I can't see it, but I know what color I have. And I'm just going to put it on the apples of my cheeks from the inside, brushing it out towards my ear. I'm just gonna swirl and do the same on the other side. Just starting from the inner cheek and fluffing my way out. Done with that. And now, bronzer. So this is my Melania bronzer, and I really like it for 2 reasons, okay? Reason number 1, it's lightly pigmented, so I feel like it makes it a little less likely that I'll mess up, or at least if I do mess up, it won't be quite as aggressive. And the other reason that I like it, okay, this is the most important reason, it smells like coconuts. And I'm a big fan of scented makeup for some reason. I don't know, it just makes my heart happy. So I'm just gonna take my littler fluffy brush and swirl it around, and I'm going to kind of put it on my cheeks, sort of in the same spot as the blush, but higher, like above the apples and along my temple, kind of following my hairline. And then I'm just gonna do the same on the other side. Just sort of going along that hairline and the temples. And then I'm just gonna put a little like on the top of my forehead where that hairline is, just to sort of like make it uniform all the way across. And then I'm going to put a little bit down my nose, the top of my nose, and a small bit on the top of my chin, just kind of like where if you were outside, the like this, it's supposed to emulate the sun kissing your face. So that is all done, and now we get to do the lips. To start the lips, we are going to use a lip stain actually, but lip stain is extremely dry and it just makes your lips feel kind of gross. So what I've actually been starting with lately is a lip oil, and this one that I have is by e.l.f. It smells like peppermints, and it has a little bit of color, but for this it doesn't really matter because we're going to put a bright color over it. So I'm just going to let that dry for a second, because if the oil is kind of like too moist when you put your lip stain on, it'll just kind of like smear the color everywhere. So we want to let it dry for a second. And I'm just going to take my fingers and go across and make sure that if I have any kind of like smeared or overlapping on my face, that I just sort of touch that up a little bit. And I'm just gonna, so I call my makeup my therapy. Oh, I'm clumsy, you guys. We should just go ahead and make a PSA that I'm gonna knock everything over in probably every video, and if there's a package, I'm gonna get stuck on that, so that'll be a thing too. But anyway, I call my makeup my therapy because makeup is really something that I'm passionate about, but also like I feel like it's how I get my confidence. Like when I'm gonna go somewhere, when I want to feel good, it's all about the makeup. If my makeup day goes good, the whole day is gonna go good. I feel like a totally different person. Hence the therapy. Now I'm just taking the lip stain that we talked about and putting it on my lips like a lip gloss or the lip oil, just all over, tracing my lips. And this is my NYX, it's called NYX Lingerie, and it's in the color Pink Hit. Okay. I really love Lip Stain because it's just like the colors are so bright and pigmented, and I feel like no matter what I drink, no matter what I eat, if I don't want it to go anywhere, it's not going to go anywhere. Even when I kind of like want to wash it off because I put on a color different than what I think I do, it's kind of hard to get it off. So if you want long lasting, go with the stain. Now we have 2 more things to do and then we are all done. This is my Urban Decay Eyeliner Setting Spray. So I'm just going to spray this all over my face to set my makeup. And last but not least, I'm going to take that spoolie brush that we had earlier and I'm just going to like smooth out my eyebrows. And if I have any like excess powder or foundation or whatever, just let the brush kind of clean it out. I don't really like put makeup on my eyebrows or anything like that because I don't like have like super like luxurious eyebrows, but I also don't have high maintenance eyebrows, so I just let them do their thing. This is the final product, you guys. I hope you enjoyed doing your makeup with me. I hope that maybe I gave you a tip, and feel free to leave yours below because we can all learn and grow as makeup addicts, whatever. If you like this video, please give it a like, leave me a fabulous comment, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much if you've already subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!